Yeah, in the transition, replacing Todd in the band, it wasn't as difficult as you might think actually, because I toured with the guys in a support band beforehand on a previous tour, so I got to know them, and I got to know Todd fairly well as well. And so I already kind of were friends with the guys, and it wasn't so difficult. When it came to playing with them, we started off where I had to fill in some festivals and gigs, and it was just a case of learning all Todd's parts. So that was a great introduction to what Todd had done with the band. And then after that, there was room for us all to be creative and write together. So just take where Todd had left off.
He was on board from pretty much the very beginning of the writing. So I guess Andy felt a part of that. And I don't view it as much as like replacing Todd, because Todd was Todd, and Todd did what he did, and he was great, and he's always going to be, a founding member of our band. I don't know if it comes through on the mix, but as far as guitars, there are tons of guitars.
Yeah.
Like Andy had, he must have written like 4 or 5. It got to a point where I was, because I was recording all the demos, and I would just be like, dude, we can't fit any more guitars in there. And I think maybe it sometimes comes across that there aren't as many guitars because there's a lot of synth.
But also, I think one thing is it can be quite deceptive as far as guitar parts are concerned, because the guitar parts are all about affected sounds and all kinds of pedals, and so using synth pedals and all these strange kind of octave and reverb pedals is sometimes not clear what the guitar parts are.
The new album, it's pretty solid. I would say that it stands up with the rest of our albums, and it's my favorite. We used to be write a lot more rocky kind of songs, and they're still big and epic kind of stuff. But I'm at this point in my life, I'm kind of into. I'm more into what we're doing. That makes sense, doesn't it?
We really had the luxury of spending a lot of time on this, but also we experimented so much, and it just so happens that some of these weird things that we were really excited about, these strange soundscapes and strange combinations of sounds, they actually really worked and were catchy, and they weren't at all too pretentious of us to just try things for the sake of it, like for being musos. It turned out that it really served the song well. So we had this luxury of putting all these sounds together, and it just came out as something that we all really loved, and so it represents some experimentation, some successful experimentation. I think we were all conscious of the fact that some of our favourite records had been recorded there, and you afford that place respect because of that. Some of those records, they changed my life, they really did, and so they're more important than, I don't know, some locations in my childhood in a way, because those songs that meant so much to me.
We have a lot more to achieve, and we have a greater mountain to climb, and bands like Elbow and The National, they're good end games for us, or like Wilco, or I'm trying to think of Death Cab for Cutie, like bands that kind of had a while. Black Keys, they had a while. Like it's and they're huge now. All those bands are huge, so it's a good it's a good aim for us.